Hey, Rob for R&B Reviews, and this week, a criminal plans on stealing a weapon by using three orphan girls. That film partially describes Despicable Me with Steve Carell as Gru, a supervillain who plans on stealing the moon but needs a shrink ray that was stolen from him by a rival. Now, to get the gun back, he encounters three orphan sisters and plans on making them part of his plan. Now, I saw this movie with my girlfriend at a local $5 theater where it shows movies that have been kind of out for a while. It's like the equivalent of a dollar theater. And while I enjoyed most of this film, I felt like it tried too hard at times and was kind of unfocused. The first half of the movie I thought was marginally funny. It had an amusing montage of Gru doing some evil work at the beginning of the film. But I felt like they used a little bit too much of Gru's attempts to try and get back the shrink ray. Some I did get a good chuckle out of, but others I felt could have been edited out. When I was watching that scene, it kind of reminded me of stories that I heard where Walt Disney would edit gags out of his films if a sequence would go on for too long or if he felt they had just about enough. And the animators would get upset with him, but it turned out that he was right. You know, he was a good story editor. He knew when to go back to a story, another part of the story and all that. And that's kind of like what I felt with this film. I felt they packed in everything and they threw in everything that they developed, and some of that stuff they didn't really need, and it kind of dragged the picture down a little bit. There is also a chase in the sky between Gru and his rival that really wasn't that funny. I thought that it was just there just to show some awesome things that the animation company could do with the 3D. The film, for me, did pick up when the orphans entered the picture, and the film became focused once they became part of Gru's plan. And it was more fun with some enjoyable moments. I finally had an interest in Gru's plan, and there were some sequences, including where Gru is asked to read them a bedtime story, and some bits involving Gru's little minions that I thought were pretty interesting to watch, and they were very enjoyable. I liked the characters of Despicable Me. I thought Steve Carell was funny as the voice of Gru. I liked Gru's evil scientist sidekick, and the kids were also fun to watch, and they were pretty cute. I have a younger sister, so I could kind of relate to the stress of keeping an eye on little kids like Gru has to here. But overall, I thought the film is a mixed bag at best, but I think there is just about enough here for me to say, rent Despicable Me on DVD. So that's my verdict. I give Despicable Me a rented on DVD verdict, so go ahead and leave your comments if you've seen it and post your thoughts. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time on R&B Reviews.